let's try something different today. Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm not going to do my intro today. I want to test this out and see what you guys have to say about it. So I'm not going to do my intro today, and if you guys like me getting right into the drama, then say it in the comment section below. If you missed my intro, say it in the comment section below so I kind of know what to do going forward. I want to test out something different. And I will also say that I am staring into the glaring sunlight outside as well as my ring light. And last night, when I was taking out my contacts, I ripped my contact out of this eye. Ouch! And it hurt so bad. So this eye is like red today. I was able to get a new pair of contacts in it after I slept all last night with a warm compress up against my eye. But anyway, let's get right into the drama at less than a minute. Okay. So I have received so many DMs, thousands and thousands and then thousands of DMs. No, not thousands and thousands, but I received several DMs from people asking me to make a video on what I think about the fact that Jeffree Star is endorsing Jaclyn Hill's brand, Jaclyn Roxanne, and her jewelry business and all of this kind of stuff. And I have to tell you, my initial reaction to it was, I'm so bored. No, I'm bored of it. I'm so bored of it. It's like, you know, it's funny because when I started doing drama 6.5 years ago, if Jeffree Star had endorsed somebody or whatever, like this would have been a big drama story. Like this would have been a huge drama story. But today, it just isn't. I actually think it speaks more to the fact that Jaclyn Hill and Jeffree Star really have not that many friends in the beauty space anymore, that they're kind of like leaning on each other a little bit. And I also think that Jaclyn Hill is really suffering in her businesses. And so I think this was kind of like a favor that Jeffree Star did to her. But before I get into all of my feelings, emotions, and facts about this, let's get to the facts part of it first, okay? So on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, Jeffree Star put out an Instagram story where he was wearing one earring, one of Jaclyn Hill's beautiful earrings from her wedding collection. And here's what he had to say about it.
Let's talk about the two most asked questions about today's look. The sunglasses are from Monn. They have this amazing visor thing. I'm obsessed with them. And then the earring. You guys are so funny. I have gotten thousands and thousands of DMs. Jeffree, where's your other earring? Yes, this look is intentional. I have not worn one earring in like 10 years. It used to be my style. And these are from Jaclyn Hill's jewelry brand, Jaclyn Roxanne. They're absolutely stunning.
Rock on gold dust. Oh, I was just singing because I missed my intro so bad. Beast. Rock on gold dust, woman. Anyway, so that's what Jeffree Star had to say. He came out and he was, you know, so many people were asking him about the earring. Thousands and thousands of people. This is what kills me, you know, is when you go into your DMs, first of all, okay? So, like, for example, let me just go into my DMs right here for a second. When you go into your, hold on a second. What am I doing wrong? When you go into your DMs, okay, and you look at your messages, and you can just, like, roll up, right? It's like, it goes to the bottom, and then it stops, and then you have to roll up again, and then it, like, you know, how is it possible? I mean, are they just, like, scrolling and then waiting for it to buffer, scrolling? I mean, they can't possibly read it. And I've said this with Jaclyn Hill. I've said, like, Jaclyn Hill is another person that comes out and says, I have received so many DMs, literally thousands of DMs of you guys asking me about these scrunchies and where did I get these scrunchies. I'm just using that as an example, right? But she's killing for saying that as well. Like, I've received thousands and thousands of DMs, okay? Well, I said this in a video not too long ago, and actually somebody went and they did the math. Now, I ain't got my glasses on, I can't do math, but I do have some lip gloss on, or I am going to get some lip gloss on because I need lip gloss for the math. I think had I worn more lip gloss in high school, I think that I would have done better in algebra and geometry. I think that's the case. I think that the one thing that was missing from my study repertoire was my lip gloss. I needed lip gloss. So anyway, but somebody actually did the math of like how many DMs Jaclyn Hill would have to read every hour to read 1,000 DMs in 24 hours. And it was astronomical, to say the least. So the fact that they can say that they received thousands and thousands of DMs asking them one specific question, which means they have to go into each DM and see what it said and see that the person is asking a question, is a straight up lie, you know? If Jeffree Star said, you know, I got 50 DMs and all the DMs were asking me about this earring, like, I would maybe believe that. And then he said, you know, and it seems to me that I got more DMs than I usually do, so probably a lot more people were asking. But to say I got thousands and thousands of DMs from people asking me about this earring, no, you didn't, girl. You absolutely didn't, okay? So there's that, first of all. Second of all, he's got a hoodie on, and he's got a baseball cap, and he's wearing these sunglasses, okay? And people are asking him about his outfit. And he first goes in and he talks about these Monn sunglasses, right? Which are very, very high-end. Which I think is interesting because he's talking about these sunglasses and people are asking him about the sunglasses, but then they're equally asking him about this one earring. And he said the reason that they're asking him about this earring is because he hasn't worn one earring in over 10 years, right? So you're telling me that your viewers, your fans, okay, are so, like, they clock things so closely that the one thing they want to know is, why are you wearing one gaudy-ass grandma earring that you haven't worn in over 10 years? Because this is something for me that my grandma, my OG grandma that went to prison back in the day, that she had in her junk jewelry box back in the day. Okay, that's what I think that Jaclyn's jewelry looks like. I'm sorry if you think that's mean. It's my opinion, okay? It's my opinion! And I'm allowed to have my opinion on products that are sold, okay? I know that people think that that's mean and whatever, but it's the truth, okay? It's one step up from Claire's Boutique as far as I'm concerned, right? And the price point on this, and he says in there that the prices are like really like fairly priced or whatever, and I'm like, those earrings that you have on are $100, okay? That's $50 for one ear that he has on. Most normal people can't afford that price point of an earring to just wear with a hoodie and a baseball cap. Like, that's not a cheap pair of earrings. And if they are going to spend that kind of money on a pair of earrings, they're going to wear a pair of, like, you know, like gold hoops or something like that. They're not going to go and spend it on a pair of earrings that you can maybe only wear to something. I mean, where are you going to wear those earrings to? You know, you go wear them to the grocery store. And that's where it's like, when I did my video talking about the wedding collection, I was like, you know, Jaclyn's like, I mean, this isn't just for a wedding. This is for anything, you know. This can be for the bartender's bow tie. This can be for, you know, Sally Joe's spa day. I mean, it can be for anything, right? Of course it can. She wants to sell these, and they're not selling out, and that's the problem. So I don't know. I'm kind of a little bit, people were asking me, like, why do I think that Jeffree Star did this for her? I mean, that's what the main thing that people wanted to know, my opinion on why do I believe that Jeffree Star came out and did this favor for Jaclyn Hill. I don't know. I think both of their careers, to be honest, are kind of suffering. Like, neither one of them are really selling that kind of stuff. I think that Jeffree Star knew to come out and support Jaclyn Hill would bring some drama attention to him. And, you know, let's just be honest. There have been several drama videos before mine that have been made about this topic. So it is true. I mean, it is bringing some drama. And the reason that I say that is, you know, that since leaving YouTube, Jeffree Star, who way back in the day is the first person that kind of used drama to drive traffic to his channel, to his products, to sell out products and things like that, right? I mean, he really did. You can't deny that. He used drama, which I'm not saying that that's a bad business tactic. I'm just saying he used drama and the stories of gossip and things like that and whatever, and the interminglings of all of that. He used that to sell products and to bring attention to him and to bring attention to his channel and things like that. Well, what's interesting to me is when you go over and you look at his TikTok, right? Okay. So I have his TikTok right up here. And when you go over to his TikTok and you look at his TikToks that have done the best, okay? The TikToks of his that have done the best are the ones, they aren't the ones that are about Jeffree Star. They're not the ones that are about, like, life updates and stuff like that, which tells you that people really aren't that interested in the life of Jeffree Star as much anymore, right? The ones that are doing really well over here, which, by the way, in my last video that I did talking about his review of Rhode Skincare, Hailey Bieber's skincare product. I said at the end of it, and that was before he had come out and said anything. I said, oh, what's he going to do now? Turn around and do Selena's Rare Beauty? And sure as SHI toot. I almost cussed. I almost got to pay 25 cents for the cuss jar. Sure as SHI toot. I mean, literally, I was uploading that video, and he came out in an Instagram story, and he said, just so you know, I'm going to be reviewing Selena's skincare product next. And I was like, well, that makes sense, doesn't it? Let's just insert ourselves right in the middle of all the drama. Because Jeffree Star, if he's not doing drama, he's not really getting the views that he used to get. And I know that people don't want to accept that, but go look at his TikTok if you don't believe me, right? Because when you look over here and you see, okay, the videos that are getting the most views, Rare Beauty is doing pretty good. And then the one after that that's doing really good is Testing Out Rhode Skincare at 7.1 million. And then there's Louis Vuitton fashion show in Paris, 1.9. I mean, he's getting good views, but he's not getting, like, you know, compared to some of these. And then you go over here and you look, my most hated makeup product of 2023, okay? And then you go down here and you keep on looking at which ones, where he's talking about Dior blush and Too Faced blush, 13.1, and he's like crying in like the thing, right? And you go down here and you look at the ones that are doing really, really well, and the ones that are doing really well, like will Michaela accept my invitation? 15.5 million views, okay? And so the ones that are doing good, and then the one down here about his boyfriend, supposed boyfriend, NFL, 12.3 million views. And then the one announcing his makeup reviews are back, 18.7 million views. So the ones that are surrounded in drama, or the ones that are surrounded in gossip, are definitely the TikToks that are doing a lot better. And Jeffree knows that. He knows to continue to stay relevant, he has to stay in the game and talk about the Hailey Biebers and talk about the Selena Gomez's and insert himself in the middle of Michaela and things like that, right? He knows that. To stay relevant and to stay somewhat where people are talking about him, he has to do that. You know, and he just flew to LA, so I have to believe it's for some kind of photo shoot, for some kind of upcoming launch that he has. So do I believe that he is stirring up drama because he has a new launch coming out? Absolutely. I think that's why it is, you know? Do I think that he's, you know, being nice to Jaclyn just to be nice to Jaclyn? I don't really know what that's about. You know, I think it's interesting. I think, you know, like, Jaclyn Hill has been really, really close with Lipstick Nick lately, and they've been working out, and she's been flying out there and helping her with her photo shoots and things like that. And I know that they're really, really close, and Jeffree Star and Lipstick Nick are really, really close. And I was actually talking to somebody about this the other day. You know, it's interesting to me, like, I would love to know what Lipstick Nick knows, because Lipstick Nick has stayed really, and she seems very nice to me, and I like her, and I think that, you know, her skills seem fantastic and things like that. But wasn't she the creative director of Morphe? Like, what, is she still in that role now that Morphe is going downhill, like, and going out of business? Like, it's interesting to me, like, what's Lipstick Nick's next move? And so the fact that you have Jaclyn over here and Jeffree over here, and the common denominator is Lipstick Nick, and then all of a sudden, Jeffree Star is shouting out, you know, Jaclyn's wedding brand of her jewelry, it's kind of interesting to me, you know, especially when Lipstick Nick was just in Florida. So that's interesting to me. The other thing that is interesting to me is that if you look through the years, and I've commented on this before, Jaclyn Hill has come out and publicly supported and endorsed Jeffree Star when nobody else would. So it's kind of like they have this kind of like hidden underground friendship that they don't really acknowledge very often. But, you know, it's interesting to me because Jeffree always wants to talk about high-end this and high-end that and going to the Louis Vuitton fashion show and all this kind of stuff. But then you're going to come out with these earrings that just are, I don't know, like, I mean, you want to, okay, here's the thing, right? Like, this is where I feel like, so like Nick Snyder and Dustin and Nick from The Viewer's Voice, they did a video, and the title was something like, Jeffree Star's losing credibility over this review. And this is where I do think that he's losing credibility, and they talked about this in the video, is that the fact is that Jeffree Star is known for doing his Jeffree Star approved videos, right? And you're going to be somebody that talks about high-end products and the quality of products, and he's talked about that through the years with all of these things. You know, the Monn sunglasses, the Louis Vuitton bags, on and on and on, right? And then you're going to come out and you're going to endorse a product that the price point is $100, not to mention that you're going to support somebody that never discloses, okay, which was a huge issue with Michaela when the Michaela thing came out and Jeffree Star called her out. But Jaclyn never discloses, but you don't have an issue with that, and you support Jaclyn, and you endorse Jaclyn, and you endorse her brand, Jaclyn Roxanne, okay, and you're saying that these products are fantastic and all this kind of stuff. It's going to be interesting when people start really getting their products, and really if these products really do hold up with Jaclyn Roxanne. That's going to be what's going to be the really interesting part to me, you know? So that's what's going on with that. I'm not really sure if I truly do understand where this came out, other than I just think it's kind of like a favor that they threw each other, you know, and then maybe she'll throw him a favor down the road. But I don't think that Jeffree Star really relies on Jaclyn Hill for a whole lot. It's not like she's doing makeup reviews at this point, you know what I mean? The other thing that I wanted to say, and then, so Jeffree Star said that, and then Jaclyn Roxanne started posting it all over their Instagram, okay? It was like, Jeffree Star posted it on his Instagram story. Hold on a second, where are my pictures? Okay, Jeffree Star posted on his Instagram story here, I'll throw it up here right here, and he said, my new favorite earrings, and then Jaclyn Roxanne's brand, they took that, hold on a second, and they took that and they said, Jeffree Star looking fierce in our earrings, the Promise earrings. And, but the interesting thing was that there were comments, not many, not many comments. I think there were like, I don't know, 50 comments or something. But Jaclyn, of course, she commented on it, and or Jaclyn Roxanne commented on it, and then Jeffree Star they said, Jeffree Star looking fierce in our Promise earrings. And then a lot of people in here were like, these look amazing on Jeffree. Yes, Jeffree, beautiful, blah, 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 blah. It's when you read through the comments and you get kind of to the bottom of the comments, because you know Jaclyn and her team and her businesses and whichever businesses she owns at this point, are killing for deleting comments, right? But it's interesting when you get to the very bottom of the comments and, people start saying stuff about this, and they say, like, he is canceled for life. I wish small brands would stop promoting him and making him relevant again. Those who know, and we don't forget. Somebody said, stop supporting racists is not a good look. Somebody said, controversial, supporting controversial, how fun. Because Jaclyn said something about, like, oh, where is it? I have the screenshot of her thing too. She said, I know that I'm controversial, but that it's really nice to be supported by other people in the community and things like that. So apparently she's really happy about being, I have that receipt somewhere. Hold on a second. Jaclyn came out and said something about, thanks to everyone who always says nice things to me. She said something about, I met so many nice people today. Oh, wait. That was where the last video that I was talking about. But she came out and she said something to the effect of, you know, I know that I'm a controversial person and blah, 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 whatever, and all this kind of stuff. And it's really nice to be supported by somebody like an OG in the community and whatever. So she said that in her Instagram story. Jaclyn also came out and she showed this DM that somebody had sent her, and they said, and I thought this was kind of interesting because, you know, like one of the questions that I ask in my videos a lot is, why do people continue to support Jaclyn after all the failed business launches and on and on and on? Like, why do they continue to support her, you know? And I said in my video the other day, I said something to the effect of, like, I'm not asking you to dislike these people. I'm asking you just to consider them as business people. I mean, Jaclyn is a CEO of many companies. She claims to be the CEO of many companies, right? That have had many, many issues at this point, right? So when I do my videos and I'm talking about those things, and I had a lot of people that were like, thank you, Peter, for standing your ground and saying that you're not going to back down and you're going to continue to do these videos, which of course I'm going to. But thank you for that. I appreciate it. And, you know, and so I was saying, you know, like, I'm not asking you to dislike these people. I'm just asking you to... like Poppy Schofield on Truth Be Told, I love that show so much, to reconsider, to just take a look at it and say, maybe Jaclyn isn't the person that I thought she was. Maybe Jaclyn isn't this great CEO. Maybe she's not this great businesswoman. Maybe she really does just care about the money. Maybe I really don't matter that much to Jaclyn in the grand scheme of things. Maybe she really doesn't care about her audience. Maybe she isn't just really have this great integrity, because she will do anything to make money, and even if that means violating FTC guidelines and things like that, right? Okay, so it was interesting because I got a comment and somebody said, how do you ask somebody to still like somebody, but then you also ask them to consider these things about them? Like, I'm confused. Like, if you're going to ask them to consider these things, which basically show them in a poor light, then how are you going to continue to like that person as well? And I think it's a good question. I think it's a fair question, you know? And that's where we talk about like parasocial relationships and things like that. It's like, you know, the people that support Jaclyn and whatever, and they don't really, like, y'all don't really know her. Like, you don't hang out with her. It's not like you're going to get oysters with her and things like that, but you have provided this amazing lifestyle that she has had. And I think it's just only nice that she could return that favor by throwing up a video every once in a while, showing her gratitude for her audience every once in a while, being honest with her audience, you know? Those are the kind of things that I don't think it's a lot to ask, okay, to be fair to the people that have given her so much through the years, you know? But just to kind of like expect it, I feel like is a sense of entitlement. And so she throws up this thing that somebody says to her and they say, Jaclyn, people would have given up through half of the things you've been through. Excuse my English, they said. And every single time you get up and get up stronger, at least for me, that's why I'm still here, standing next to you and supporting you as well. Because you remind me that if I fall down 7 times, I must get up 8. Keep shining. And Jaclyn said, oh my God, I'm literally crying right now. Thank you so much for saying those sweet words to me. And I think it's very, very nice. I do, right? And like I said, I am somebody that believes in giving people 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th chances, okay? You know, like, I understand what this person is saying. I totally 100% get it, right? But what has Jaclyn shown in making changes? Where has she, like, when she's gotten back up, has she answered for the acts of her past? Where has she said that she's doing things differently? Where has she shown that she's trying to make positive changes or be a different person? I haven't witnessed that. I'm sorry, but in 6.5 years of covering Jaclyn Hill, I haven't witnessed Jaclyn Hill come out and say, I mean, she said it in her video where she said, like, I want to be better for you guys, but she didn't come out and do it later. She made a joke of it. She turned it on her audience. She blamed it on other people with Lipstick Gate, you know? And so every situation that happens with her, she's always blaming it on somebody. It's always somebody else's fault. She doesn't want to take any responsibility for it, right? It's woe is me, woe is me, woe is me. And if that doesn't work, it's people are being mean to me and they're being bullies, right? Now, I have to tell you, it was interesting because when I was watching, who was I? I was watching Nick's video, and he mentioned something about a Reddit thread. So I went over to Reddit because I wanted to see the Reddit thread that he was talking about, and I couldn't find the Reddit thread that he was talking about. But I did find a Reddit thread where they were talking about FTC guidelines, and I thought it was very interesting. And it says, FTC and undisclosed ads. And somebody asks, does anyone have any insight on the FTC cracking down on undisclosed sponsorships? It seems as though undisclosed ads are rampant, but I've never actually heard of any consequences. Are people being fined and we just don't know about it? So yes, people are being fined and you just don't know about it, number one, okay? Number two, I recently reached out to an entertainment attorney, that's a friend of mine, and I asked him, I said, hey, I need to ask you some questions about this FTC thing and whatever, like I really want to understand it. And he like broke it down for me and said, no, everything that you are saying is true. Everything that you're saying is exactly how it has to happen. Number one, the FTC has guidelines. Number two, the companies have guidelines of what you have to disclose and how you have to disclose it. And you have to go both ways. And he said the person and the company can be fined if it isn't followed through. And I said, okay, so here's my question. I said, you know, there's a lot of these influencers out there that are not disclosing because here's the issue. The issue is that people are saying, whenever I do a video and I talk about the FTC or, you know, no fining and all that kind of stuff, people are like, well, if the FTC is not going to do anything about it, then why does it really matter? Well, here's my question about that, right? If somebody breaks the law but doesn't get caught, does that make their crime any less? Like, I don't believe that, right? It just means they got away with a crime. So when I'm talking about these people breaking FTC guidelines, they are practicing illegal behaviors and not being caught for it, right? Like, they're doing illegal things, but just not getting caught for it. And so I said something to him. I said, well, I just don't understand it. And he goes, well, there was a phase for about a year when a lot of Instagram, people were getting fined heavily. He said they were getting charged, like $100,000, $200,000, being heavily fined for not disclosing ads. And I said, okay, well, what happened? And he said to me, well, they've kind of gone in another direction, and the FTC is focusing on a certain thing right now. And he said, but it's going to come back. And he said, it's starting to swing back the other way because we're starting to get a lot of complaints. And he said, it's not just Instagram and TikTok, it's other things as well that people are starting to complain a lot about. And he goes, that's what's going to happen, is that eventually people are going to complain enough that the FTC is going to be forced to do something. They're going to force their hand. So here you see an article, which I know it's on the Reddit beauty guru chatter, whatever, right? And it's just something. But I haven't seen that on there before, and people are starting to talk more and more about it. So is a day coming where these influencers that are non-disclosing and they're not disclosing affiliate links appropriately and they're not doing this and they're not doing that could get heavily fined? Yes. And when you get heavily fined, you get heavily fined per post, okay, per non-disclosed ad. So let's say if you have 10 over a period of let's say a month, you could get fined for each one, for each thing that you do. I mean, it could be massive how much money that you owe in looking back over this. So I don't know, it could be a really bad thing for some of these people that are non-disclosing. So if you're watching this video and you're an influencer out there that non-discloses, and you're an influencer out there that has affiliate links out the butt, and you're not putting ad appropriately, contextually with where it's supposed to be, and you're not letting your people know, you better get with it, because your time might come, and it might be coming faster than you think. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on that. So let me know what you think about all of that in the comment section below. I would be interested to know what you guys think about Jeffree Star endorsing Jaclyn Roxanne and Jaclyn Hill and her jewelry line, and why he did that. Let me know in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.